Welcome to the Brickyard 400, the second edition to Season 2 of the AJ Racing Cup Series, the NASCAR Cup Series. I am AJ. Eric is your pit reporter. He's down in pit lane. We'll get to him in a few moments, but we'll take you through the remaining AJ Racing season schedule. The season just started, but there's a whole lot we have to pack in, and I'm going to pack it in as short time as possible so we can get to the race. Now, the AJ Racing Cup Series, the NASCAR Cup Series is still going on. The next race, there may be a Christmas race. You can stay tuned for that if you want to see that video. If we're going to have a Christmas race, hit the subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell so you can get the notifications for that. Now, if we do have a Christmas race, that will be a race on the AJ Racing Cup Series season schedule. It is not known yet if it's the NASCAR Cup Series or the AJ Racing Cup Series. NASCAR Cup Series or the IndyCar Cup Series for that race. But the Elite 10 competition is scheduled for January 14th next year, 2021. After that, these schedule will go on every month. So the O'Reilly Auto Parts will be at Texas for the NASCAR Cup Series after that. Right after the O'Reilly Auto Parts 500, the IndyCar Cup Series will kick off. Also at Texas Motor Speedway, that'll be right after the O'Reilly Auto Parts 500. Then so on. From there, the season is expected. The races are expected to be shown about once a month or every month. So the NASCAR Cup Series and the IndyCar Cup Series are expected to alternate different races that are going to be published. Now, for the race report, I'm going to send that down to Eric on pit lane. Eric, what do you got for us down there with some driver reports? Alright, hello everyone, I am Eric, your pit reporter. Now, you're probably saying right now, why am I not on pit lane? Well, I'm in the garage of the previous race winner, Kurt Busch. He won the Daytona 500, just the last race. Now, he is expecting to come to this race not that confident. He hasn't raced that well at the Brickyard at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Now, who's expecting to be really good? Kevin Harvick. Kevin Harvick, now, if you remember the Indy 500, the first race of the AJ Racing Cup Series in Season 1, Kevin Harvick was one of the first cars to crash out. He was involved in that first caution situation. But Kevin Harvick said he's expecting to be able to win this race, and if not win this race, come in the top 3. That is his confidence level there. Denny Hamlin also on board with that. He's expecting to win this race. Well, Martin Truex Jr. has a new paint livery. He's taking over the 19 at Joe Gibbs Racing. So Daniel Suarez, who was in the 19, he's going to have to get a new livery. He will not be racing today. And Eric Almirola will not be racing today due to other reasons. But the two rookies, Chase Briscoe and Alex Bowman. Alex Bowman, for his first time racing the AJ Racing Cup Series, he's saying he knows he has big shoes to fill in that 48 car, and he's not going to disappoint them. At least he's not going to try to disappoint them. He wants to win this race today. Make sure his team has that level of confidence in him to help him through the remaining season. Now, AJ mentioned earlier IndyCar. Well, for IndyCar, like he said, it'll kick off right after the O'Reilly Auto Parts 500. It's probably going to be in the month of February of 2021. But let's focus on the Elite 10 competition right now. That is set for January 14th of 2021. There are a handful really, of eligible drivers that can race and are invited to this race. But we'll see who. Well, on January 14th, we'll see who was actually invited to race in the actual Elite 10 competition. Like I said, there are a whole bunch of eligible drivers. A lot of them include Denny Hamlin, Kevin Harvick, Bubba Wallace, the defending champion, Bubba Wallace. Kurt Busch coming in with the win, the first win of the season 2, so he'll be in there eligible. So we'll see who gets into the Elite 10 competition roster. That's pretty much it for now, except I have one more thing if we can fit this in right now. There is a new rule change in the rule book this year to the AJ Racing Cup Series, especially at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, that is about cutting corners. Now, usually you could pass under that white line. Now they're not allowing that anymore. A lot of drivers took advantage of that, so they want to take that out. They're now the AJ Racing Cup Series is now labeling it as corner cutting, so any part of the car has to stay on the white barrier at all times if you want to go down to the line prints. That's it for now. I'm Eric. You'll hear from me during the race, but we'll get to the race right now. Ryan Blaney, Alex Bowman, ready to take the green flag. And now for your AJ Racing starting lineups. On the pole, we'll have Ryan Blaney, Alex Bowman, the rookie, in second. Then you'll have Bubba Wallace, Casey Kane, Kurt Busch, the previous race winner, and Denny Hamlin. Kevin Harvick, Joey Logano. We'll have Matt Kenseth and Martin Truex Jr., Ryan Newman, Chase Elliott, Chase Briscoe, Eric Jones, and finally in the 3-car, Austin Dillon. Now the drivers not racing today: Junior Suarez, Eric Almirola, and Kyle Busch, who is suspended right now. The racing line, the preferred racing line you're going to see today: Greeny obviously the best, Brada obviously the worst. As Ryan Blaney, Alex Bowman off of turn 4. The green flag is out at the Brickyard for the first and only race at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Ryan Blaney out of turn 1 is going to keep his lead, make a pretty large gap there as he comes to the back straightaway. Wallace to the fence, trying to block the 48 there. Hamlin to the run on the 1 and the 5. They were side drafting and they just stalled out pretty much, as Ryan Blaney is going to lead lap 1. The 11 with the run on Alex Bowman. Cuts right in front of him. Dangerous move there, almost wrecked himself. On board of Denny now as we watch the battle for third. That gap closing in between the leader and second place, Bubba Wallace. You can see it there. So that's Alex Bowman, Chase Briscoe, Kurt Busch coming down pit lane. We'll see why in a few moments on board with Ryan Blaney. Now we have a battle for first. Side by side. Now bumper to bumper. Hamlin on the inside. Blaney laid on the block. Up and over he goes, flipping over on his roof. Green flag back out. Wallace moves to the outside to block the 11 from getting any momentum. Denny Hamlin moves in front of his Joe Gibbs teammate, Martin Truex Jr. And this is why they went into pit lane. There's 3 cars, it's not a race penalty, a 1-lap penalty for cutting corners there, a new rule implemented this year in the AJ Racing Cup Series. On board Martin Truex Jr. Sticking their noses in. Wallace, Harvick, 3 wide. And we'll take you NASCAR non-stop as Hamlin leads lap 6.
The Big Machine Hand Sanitizer 400 is brought to you by YouTube, NASCAR, and the NASCAR Cup Series.
Alright, we watched the battle cam. Hamlin versus Harvick, Dillon versus Wallace. Off of turn 4, here comes the 4. Who's going to win the Brickyard 400? Hamlin up and over. Truex Jr. has a run. Not going to get there. Kevin Harvick takes first, Truex Jr. takes second, Wallace takes third. Hamlin severely, it looks like he's injured there. They're just taking off precautions, trying to get him out the car. Harvick burns it down, his first win of the AJ Racing Cup Series. And as Denny Hamlin gets out, we'll take a moment to acknowledge the first responders who come to the races every single week, keep all of the drivers safe. They even did that with Denny Hamlin. Even though he may be injured, they got him out of the car safely, and I'm getting reports right now Denny Hamlin is going to be transported via helicopter to the nearby hospital. Eric, our pit lane reporter, is down on the track with Kevin Harvick. All right, Kevin, your first win in the Cup Series. Take me through the end of this race.
Well, we knew he was going to be really close on tires, and Rodney told me on the radio, he said, just make sure you keep the pressure on him, and that was all the pressure I could give. So, those guys do a really good job. Just got to thank Jimmy Johns, everybody who is a part of this program and just keeps bringing good race cars to the racetrack.
All right. So, AJ News Network gave you news coming up in a few days. They'll have your post-race report along with the news on the huge snowstorm that battered the northeastern portion of the United States. Kevin Harvick, the race winner. If we don't see you for a Christmas race, we'll see you for the Elite 10 competition on January 14th. For everyone here, I'm AJ for the AJ Racing Network.